Greetings everyone, it's Greifer here. We're looking at a replay sent in by CyberNemesis. CyberNemesis plays on the Asia server, and I'm taking a look at his Immelmann gameplay. He's divvied up with a Halland, good boat with the CV, 1 DD per side. We've got the Sherman on the other raft of good AA cruisers. You've got the minnow on the opposition, Puerto Rico. They've all got some AA, handful of battleships, and up against a Nakhimov. Immelmann is a premium CV for the Kriegsmarine line. It comes only with torpedoes and skip bombs, but it's the dots. It's the dots on the Immelmanns. If you can get a fire or two with your drops, manage your plane's health, you will get a lot of bang for buck. So already he's spotted 3 vessels. He's got Lutyens on the Immelmann, and he's set off a heel for his planes. Losing 1 squad worth, 1 plane, he'll recall it there. The strike on the Shiki, 2 bomb hits, 1 non-pen, 1 fire, so he's really going up. The Shiki hasn't healed it thus far. He's using again his skip bombs, and he's pre-dropping, trying to conserve some of his planes. Now, CyberNemesis is not a super unicum in CVs. He's what you would call bang on average in the game. Middle of the road stats, but this game, it just shows that he is learning, and he plays it quite well. He picks his targets well where he can. Just trying to get some early damage. He's already up to 15,000 from that first strike. Vermont, a risky choice, because the Vermont's actually got good AA, but it's Yoshino might hit some planes. I would recall straight after this drop so you don't lose any more, which you do. 2 bomb hits. Probably not in my opinion, the Vermont early on is probably not the strongest of strikes, or because it actually has good AA suite. It's got the def AA. Not that it's going to use a fighter, but it would be a bit of a tough ass to strike early on. So yeah, 2 minutes in, 21,000, bit of spotting damage. Your div mate is cautiously trying to secure Charlie. Nakhimov will be bold to strike that. You get another heal. It's a shame these heals aren't going off as you are striking, but you hear you're lining up a Montana. This is a good choice. He's isolated, there's no overlapping AA. You get a nice strike. You didn't pre-drop this time, so assume you're either going to recall the plane straight away, or you're going to circle around. 1 fire, 3 pens, good hits. He's DCP'd, so this is bad for the Montana. Wait about the 10 to 15 seconds, and let's see if we can get some more fires, because these will stick and these will hurt. As long as someone else on the team does not get those fires. Nice drop. 3 pens, double fire. That's going to burn, and that's going to hurt the Montana. And Nemesis here, he uses his skip bombs again, so he's already done 3. This is his 4th salvo, and he's continuously using the skip bombs. He's got a squad, or part of a squad, returning, so he'll probably have to take out his torp soon. He's not using his speed boost, or he's trying to get into the conflict a little bit earlier. Sherman's on the Charlie cap. Smoke on Alpha, looking at their team lineup. You probably think that's the Smolensk or the Minnow. That'd be a super brave Smolly. No, it's the Minnow because the Smolly's just been detected. Drop on the GK, 4 bomb hits, 12.5 and a fire. So in 4 minutes, you got to admit, you've done pretty well. You've got up to 80,000 damage, Nemesis. Now we're seeing some torpedoes. Here's the pre-drops. Skip bombs, he's going to get most of the squad back, and he's still got 7 planes on the deck, so rotating some torpedoes here is probably a good stage. And he's got some isolated targets. As you can see, the GK is pretty isolated. The Smolly's really the only thing that could do anything, but his hit points are going off here. As you can see, Lutyens kicked in again, so I would nearly say that's too early. He's turning into that. I would have potentially me, myself, I dropped a little bit earlier. Then again, you got 2 torp hits in the flood. What do I know about CVs? But turning in at that speed, I thought potentially he could have hit the torpedo before it armed. Still, damage is racking up very nicely. Haven't seen what the enemy Nakhimov is really focusing, but your team on paper from the air look pretty healthy. Enemy Nakhimov drops a fighter. You're trying to get out of it. Looks like the fighters have locked. Nope, you got out. Poor GK coming up. Your fighters locked onto enemy Nax fighters. Wonder if he DCP'd. We're about to find out as he just shoots. 3 non-pens. That actually has to hurt. I know you're looking for another fire there to get that dot damage, and we're just doing a drop on the Puerto Rico so we're not wasting flying our planes into overlapping AA. Only 2 planes survived. 2 skip bombs, 2 hit for 4 and a bit, and a fire. See, you've been really fortunate with your dots here. I wouldn't complain. 6 fires from those 24 connects is actually pretty damn good, in my opinion. I'm not a CV natural. I do like that you are focusing on isolated targets here, though. Not sure on the, again, the nose-in target being the best one. Enemy NAC has dropped some fighter support. Looks like one of the fighters from the Puerto Rico has locked onto you, so you're going to have to drop this early before you lose. Yeah. Did the torps go off? I think they did. Minnow goes down. I didn't notice that the green team had actually lost to Worcester. I don't think the torps, they didn't hit the Vermont. Oh no, one connected. Just took a long time to get there. Green Smolensk is down. These skip bombs really pack a punch. No pun intended. Looks like that should be all 4. Really good aim. Only 2 pens. No, dot again. So after getting really good fire chances early on, CyberNemesis here has been thwarted in these last couple passes. He's using these islands really well, blocking incoming anti-aircraft, especially around this mid-range. He'll get this strike off pretty safely. I would nearly say that would have been too close. We'll see how many connect. Well, only needed 1. The Montana detonated, and just like that, CyberNemesis is up to nearly 192,000 damage. Smolensk looks like he's probably going to slow down the smoke. This is a good drop as the Smolensk still approaches. Three torps in the flood. Very nice on the Smolly. Looks like he's DCP'd that straight away. See, skip bombs here. If they have a chance to connect and you don't lose planes, you should be able to get a nice, lovely damage over time. Your team have avoided the caps thus far. I must. Oh, Jinan takes out the Puerto Rico. It traded there, though. I must say, it is interesting, though, that your division mate's still on Charlie. Seeing that your hulls at Alpha Cap, was it something that you guys coordinated? Generally, in a division, you would play closer together as you drop on the GK there. Do you have some luck? I think they were going to go over. 3 non-pen and a lucky fire. Very lucky, in my opinion. You would have been better off going for the second line, but you may have potentially lost a few planes there. So your reserves are starting to look a little bit low, but you're still being able to get these drops off. So we can see here, just press Alt, you get another skip bomb in 17 seconds and a torp one in 45. So you should be able to have a full squadron, maybe squadron and a half on the skip bombs at the next available one. No, they dropped. You've only got the 4. It looks like no, you'll have one a bit. So yeah, that's not too bad. You can, as long as you don't take too many plane losses going in, you'll actually have a fair bit of reserves now. The enemy's starting to be drawn out. Lovely torps to the front. You got your Witherer, 3 torps and a flood. GK's letting this burn. AA seems pretty soft from a combined GK Yoshino. Friendly Yammies now securing Alpha, so a couple of 100 points down. All 4 torps are in the GK. A very nice torp strike there. He's still flooding. He'd be a nice one to get potentially more damage over time, so it will secure the kill really. Smolensk survived, unfortunately. Engines sound a bit maxed out here, trying to avoid the Smolensk's anti-aircraft. That was dropping the Vermont. Interesting choice again, considering what was on Charlie. Lost 1 plane. 1 pen. High caliber, no fire. So let's check these reserves. So you get another torp plane. You're up to what, 3? Let's just come on board. You get another skip bomb in the 13. You've got 1 on deck, so should have another 2 returning. Monty and Yami help securing. Yeah, Helen's actually pretty low. Sherman has kept him happily engaged. Again, nice. I was going to say nice target selection, but you're going to take some. Oh, you're going for the Yoshi. Now that's probably a lot better than flying over the Yoshino's anti-aircraft. In all honesty. Sounds like you must not be on comms with your division mate, because he wants you to spot the Sherman, and you are low on planes, really, really low. Monty's securing Bravo, but your reload's coming up. You got a couple torps coming back. You're going to have enough reload to have a full squadron available. So the Immelmann's reload of planes is actually not too bad. I think after nearly 13 minutes, most people would be happy with 249,000 damage. This Vermont has thwarted your ability to set fires on him for most of the game. Really between the 3rd and the 2nd ring, only 1 pen, 1800, but double fire. That is really, really nice. If he's been... is it sticking? Yes, it is. We got torps again. As you can see, another squadron available. It's as long as you rotate and keep a couple planes alive, you could get a lot of your reserves back. Especially if you don't lose too many planes early on. The Immelmann is very, very strong in that regard. Immelmann, you take out the Vermont double fires. 275,000. 2nd kill of the game. I must say, it's not often you see a dev strike on the Immelmann either from that detonation from the Montana. Nakamov takes out your friendly Monty. 4 hits, a engine is out as well. That Yoshi is free food. And even though we've got a full squadron of torpedoes out there, you can see the skip bombs are going to be recharged in time to have a squadron available. Torpedoes will still have 1, and he's got another couple coming back, so he's able really to manage his low resources effectively now at this stage. But at this point, Green Team seems to have it in hand. They've now got 2 caps. Last enemy couple boats are being focused. The full strength honorary. Bit of a surprise being in that position. He hasn't put his hit points on the line. Enemy Sherman? No, it's Nakamov striking you. You're just ignoring his strikes. The Shik is going to be nice and cheap food here. Looks like the Howland really still wants you to spot the Sherman. There he is. Get that nice little bonus heal. The Sherman obviously didn't have his AA up. We don't see any puffs. Henri's coming forward. You should be able to get this strike comfortably on the Shikishima. All looks good there. I'm just going to pause it there. So if you're new to skip bombs especially, you can see on this third line CyberNemesis has aimed just above the hull line. So as the ship comes forward, he's aiming for the superstructure for those bombs to hit, do damage to the superstructure upper deck and to launch fire. So as the ship comes forward, these bombs will skip into this target. We don't see the after effect, but down below we've got the 4 penetrations, 14,000 damage and no fire. That takes us to just above 300,000 damage and a juicy Confederate with that. Forrest Sherman, danger close, but he doesn't have AA going for some reason. He should be knocking your planes out. He's been lit. Henri is, considering he had so much health, it's I haven't been able to see what he's done all game. Hopefully he's been able to get some good damage up to that point. This should be the end of the Shiki. 2 planes going in. Henri's down. Sherman single fire torps. Does he connect with one? Engine out on the Shiki. We've got a full squadron again of skip bombs. Torpedoes are really low. We've only got the 2 coming back, maybe 1. You've got 1 deck available, another 30 seconds. But the Preußen has taken out the Sherman. That's huge. Huge for you, CyberNemesis. Don't you wish that the DCP at this stage is controlled? Was flooding, he probably would have used a DCP earlier, but it is what it is. You're on 5,000 hit points. Enemy Shiki is nearly down. So CyberNemesis here is just waiting to get enough of planes going to get a flight up in the air. Yami gets the Shiki, Shiki gets the Preußen. So 322,000. Got to say, most people would be pretty chuffed with this damage thus far. Only 2 kills. A lot of it has been on BBs, but BB heavy game. I think that CyberNemesis has really selected his targets well at the time, other than maybe early on at the Vermont, and maybe losing a few planes over that overlapping AA, but since then he's really picked on fairly isolated targets. Nakhimov is taking damage. See a CV and it does not last long. Down to 2 planes. These torps should connect. Yeah. And we'll come off with the skip bombs. That's all you really have to rotate except 1 torpedo bomber. You got at least 1 torp on the NAC. 326,000. Yeah, Halland's moving up. He's healed up a little bit of his hit points that were low at the stage. Only the 1 torp bomber coming back. So that should give you 2, another half, 20 seconds you'll get the 3. So yeah, you've really managed your late game plane reserves really well. You haven't flown into that overlapping AA that would really hurt them. This, if you can get a nice 14 or 15k, this would be the cherry on the cake to secure the enemy CV scalp. He seems to have given up. 10k, he's only starting to move now. Don't really have to aim too far ahead. 7k, 6k, and there's a fire. 329 secured. Very nice game. So you can see here from CyberNemesis, he has got 329,000 game. As I said, Just on pure paper, his overall stats are, in my opinion, average. He's middle of the table, but his recents have been really good. So it looks like he's starting to learn the game, CVs and the classes. His recent games are good, so it's really nice to see that he has broken the 300k mark in this Immelmann game. He's got the 3 kills, a few fighters, but most of it early with those dots. That he's got 10 fires, 3 floods, but he's really picked those targets well. And when they have DCP'd, he's tried to go back to get that dimension of time. Early on the Monty, DCP'd 1 fire, rotated around, and we got the double fire. That's just showing how strong the Immelmann can be. Looking at the end XP here, 2700, 3 kills, top of the table here by CyberNemesis. His team didn't let him down. Monty is now both over 2000 base XP, and his divmate down there. The Nakamov really had a thing for the Jinan maybe, but he topped on the opposition team, so they played pretty well in all my opinion as well. So thank you for this damage record-breaking game here from CyberNemesis. It's lovely to showcase a CV game for something different. If you have enjoyed this content, please drop a subscribe on the YouTube channel. Give it a like, or follow me in Twitch, with the details down in the description below. Thank you, and take care on the seas.